Tomorrow all the things were gone I worked for all my life. I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my God above for living here today. The flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to Citizen Watch Q&A Session 2 with me, Allison Salinas. Hope everybody's having a great night, staying warm, staying safe. I do want to make a quick announcement for a quick prayer for those in Texas. They have been dealing with no power, no heat, no water for quite a while. So I believe everything's starting to get back to normal. So I hope people can send prayers their way. So we'll get started this evening. How we do this, I just started this weekly Q&A, and how it works is I have the comments up on my end, and I can see if someone has a question, and I just kind of scroll through the questions and try to answer everything I can in a timely manner. This is around for about 30 minutes, so you've got me for the next half hour to ask anything you would like. In the meantime, I'm going to be talking about a couple of subjects that have been a kind of the hot topic of social media. So, Scott, let's see if I can get his name. I think it's Presley, but I'm going to make sure. I don't want to give this. Yeah, Scott Pressler. That's correct. Met in Northern Illinois yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. And had a crowd of over 150 people. I was supposed to attend. I wasn't able to. So I'm very disheartened that I couldn't make it. Heard it was a blast. I heard he shook some limbs, guys. It's real interesting. The GOP is kind of mad at Scott. And mind you, the GOP is who is backing Adam Kinzinger. So this is what I'm talking about. They gathered a bunch of people together and are instructing young people on how to be election judges and poll watchers, and also people that want to primary Adam Kinzinger. So it's very interesting. A man who has turned his entire family against him, and now his district has censured him. So that's kind of a big deal, guys. He's kind of stuck his foot in boiling water a little bit. So that'd be interesting. We still don't know what race he's going to run for, whether it be governor or my seat, United States Senate. So I welcome him in my race, definitely. I'm going to have fun with that one. So again, while we let people jump on, we have about 13 watching right now. So if any of you 13 have a question, there's a comment area. Feel free to ask me a question about politics, our government, anything about my race that you want to know or about me. It's kind of an open board discussion. So it's pretty cool. I tend to answer anything anyway. So in the meantime, I'm going to talk about something else too. A friend of mine who is a rep, I've gotten to know her policies and her procedures and how she runs things. Toni McCombie is an awesome lady. She really is. And she was talking about the budget proposal. And with the budget proposal, it really lacks reform. It lacks serious reform. And, it's eliminating the 2019 job creation measures, which is a problem. And it relies on inflated revenues. So that's pretty scary, guys, that this relies on that. And not to mention it moves, money from agency to agency, cutting into funding revenues from 2019, even though it's 2021, it still affects us, guys. All of these cuts and budget cuts and whatnot, we have to be careful where they come from because it can hurt programs that we desperately need. So with that being said, I'm going to open up the board, and again, it's open. It's in the comments area. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask and jump in. Give everybody a minute. Also, I'd like to give a really big shout out to a couple of friends of mine. They're doing really great things. They really are. John Anthony, he has a radio station and up in the Chicago area, and he spreads his blessings and news with everybody, and it's fun to watch. So if you can catch Black and Right, I think that's what it's called. Let me double check so I'm giving the right information out. Let's see. Yeah, Black and Right. It's John Anthony hosts it, and he has guests on all the time, and he talks about a lot of what's going on. He does not hold back, so I love that. He doesn't care too much about holding back. Also, I want to mention Aaron Chess, a friend of mine out of Peoria. He's running, so I would encourage you, if you're in the Peoria area, I believe it's Peoria, Peoria area, to vote for Aaron Chess. He's a stand-up individual who definitely would have my vote if I was in his district, but I'm more than willing to advocate for him. Also, a friend of mine, I want to give kind of a shout out while I'm waiting for questions to roll in, is Alex Walker is a really good friend of mine. He's running in his district, and he has had to fight a lot of battles with people as far as he's in the Mattoon area, by the way. Fight a lot of battles as far as him standing up for the rights and what he believes in. So he's got a good heart, he's got a good mind, and he wants the best for his district. So you guys keep those names in mind. Can I give everybody a second to... Also, let's see, what else do we got? Okay, so, I was going to mention this. That's right. So a friend of mine who follows my campaign religiously, she sent me a message and said, did you see this thing about the schools and what they're doing? Let's see if I can pull up the article. Sorry about this. Oh yeah, so so here's what happened. So a school principal that made the comment, she made a comment, I guess the mic wasn't dead, so it was a hot mic, made the comment that she was tired of parents begging the schools to go back in session, and it was just because the parents wanted their free babysitters back. So that was a pretty harsh comment that people took very seriously. It wasn't appropriate, and a lot of parents are having a problem with that. Guys, I don't think it's that people need babysitters. First of all, we have been closed down for quite a while and back open and whatnot with the schools. And I think the parents are doing the best that they can with what they've got. And they definitely aren't looking for babysitters to send their kids back to school. They want their kids to have an education, and they want them to have a proper education. So for that remark for that principal, I'm pretty sure she's going to catch a lot of slack for making that. Oh goodness, what happened? Sorry, I don't know what happened. Sorry, I went up. Okay, so we do have a question. Sorry about that. My screen went black. Okay, so Gavin, how will you address the epidemic of violence against the LGBTQ people, particularly trans women of color? That's a very good question. Thank you, Gavin, for that. So first of all, where my belief stands is I believe in, I'm a Christian and I believe in the Bible, but I also believe everybody's human and everybody has the right to be who they are as a person. So as addressing the epidemic of the violence against LGBTQ, I would definitely look into any rules or laws that are being made against them. Since I'm not in the Senate yet, I haven't been able to view some of those, but what I will do and what I will tell you is I will definitely stand for the LGBTQ community and support them, and especially like you mentioned, particularly trans women of color. I believe everybody's God's child. I really do. And I don't believe anybody should be discriminated against. I just don't. Yes, I'm a Republican. Yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I believe in God, but I believe in the power of people and who they are as human beings. So I would definitely do anything I could to help support that. I hope that answered that. And you did say, Gavin, that you have a few questions. So if there's another question, you can feel free to shoot it up on the board. I think it might be lagging a little bit with questions because my screen altered a little bit. So I'll give him a second to type some more questions. And anybody else, feel free. It can be any question that you want to ask. It doesn't matter what the topic is. If I do not know the answer, I will tell you I do not know the answer and get back to you. Personally, I will write down your name and try to get back to you via social media. So, but when it comes to LGBTQ, that's a hot topic. That's a very serious topic, and there are a lot of parents that have a problem with the sports and how they're going and how they're reacting, and I'm not really sure how to. It's not that I don't know where I stand on that. It's just I see some parents getting upset about how, like, their daughters losing places and whatnot because trans men and women come in and be able to race. I saw a couple comments on that. So, I understand their frustration, but it's definitely something that needs to be looked at wholeheartedly. And we need to remember that everybody matters. Every voice counts. And it doesn't matter what sex you are or what you do. You are valuable to the community that you're in, and you matter. It's that simple. So I definitely support the LGBTQ community. And while we're waiting for more questions to oh, okay. So there's questions on my Facebook, so they must not be coming through. Okay, I don't know what's going on with these questions, but let me see. Okay, so these are the questions on your Facebook, but they must not be coming through. Stacy Bruce said Diaz for Peoria mayor. Definitely. Okay, so it's either Pam or Ben Madigan. I don't know which one, but so it says, do you think we can expect to see any positive outcomes on the ongoing investigations regarding presidential voter fraud in 2021 elections? Okay, so I'm assuming that's Ben. If it's not Pam, I'm sorry. So let me get that done. So, oh my gosh, my earpiece came out. Sorry, guys. Okay. So do you think we can expect to see any positive outcomes on the ongoing investigations regarding presidential voter fraud? Okay. So, Ben, to answer your question, or Pam, whichever one, I'm hoping so. That needs to stop. That should have never happened to begin with, but it has been happening. So it was just more apparent and more vulgar this time than any time before. So I'm hoping to see changes. What I would encourage to help those changes happen is more people on the polls, more people for election judges. I saw a comment today about Republicans not standing up enough, and they're not wrong, guys. I've said this, I've preached this, I've said it again. A lot of Republicans call themselves the silent majority, Well, you're silent because you're being silent and you're not standing up, not because you can't speak. Our mouths open just fine. So if you have an hour or two or a day, whatever it takes to be an election judge and a poll watcher, I suggest you do so, because that's how we're going to change things. The more, I wish I could find the comment, but I doubt I will. It screens so hard on Facebook. So the comment about that was, it's not that there can't be a change. It's we have to step up and make the change. So, and there were some other questions. Let me see. I don't know why they're not coming through. I need to fix that. Okay, so Binky Brandt said, what would you do about the state creating laws like this cultural responsive school indoctrination? Not have it. I think it's repulsive. I think it's demeaning, and I think it's disrespectful. And I think it's a way to have more control over our kids in the school. I mean, look, guys, I've said this before. Our government does not belong in church. Our government does not belong when it comes to medical stuff with our kids. And our government does not belong in our schools. Our teachers are certified for a reason. They have, my mom has been a teacher all my life. She taught pre-K and kinder. Although she didn't teach anything older, she still taught and she still did lesson plans. And back in the day, when my kids were younger, we had a lot of teacher-parent conversations, more than what we do now. And I believe it's up to the teachers and the parents, and then the parents at home to decide how their kids are taught. I firmly believe that. My youngest is 18, but and he's still in school, but he's homeschooled because of all this. And a lot of parents are doing that. It's nuts. Guys, if you have questions and you're not getting through and you're hearing me, if depending on what page you're on, so this is on my Facebook, so they're not coming through. So jump on my Senate page and go to my live while I'm on here and see if you can get your questions through there. Let's see, my chief of staff is kind of running background as far as questions on my Facebook. So I'm going to ask her, are there any more? Okay. Alex Walker, definitely. You're welcome for the shout out. He's a great guy. He really is. He's busting his butt. Okay. So, I think, let's see. Yeah. So, Vicky, I hope I answered your question about the state creating laws like this cultural responsive school indoctrination. Again, I think it's disheartening to see how much our government is having play in our schools. And I don't think it needs to happen. I think our schools were just fine without it. So what would I do? In the U.S. Senate, I'm not sure how much pull I have on that. I think that's more of a state issue, but I can definitely make some phone calls to representatives that I'm friends with and see where they stand on it and help them come to a resolution of how to vote. So it's all about communication, guys. It's all about critical thinking, and it's all about coming together. I'm excited. Tomorrow night is my Citizen Watch that I do every week. And for the first time, I'm going to have a Democrat on my show. And he's a great guy. I've talked to him. His name is Mark Flagel. And we're going to have some serious conversations and come up with some real solutions. So that's what I'm about as a person. And that's what I'm about with my campaign. So I try to give everybody a voice and make sure that everybody knows that their opinion matters, because it does. And, we're not going to get any better anywhere, whether it's in our schools, our churches, our doctors, our government. Nothing is going to get better until we come together. That is the most important thing that I can stress. We need to stand up. We need to stand up for the Constitution, and we need to do our job as citizens, and we have a voice and we need to use them. So that's really important. I'm not sure why my comments aren't coming up. I don't know if it's just strictly because I don't know what it's doing. But, so, with that being said, I will also say this. I have friends on all the different sides of the fences. I have some Democrat friends. I have some Libertarian friends. I have Republican friends. I have independent friends. And I tell you what, folks, those friends that I have that are on the other side of what y'all call a fence are great people. And it doesn't mean they all are, but it means the ones that I'm friends with are. And, you know, a perfect example is the Libertarian Party. I got invited to a meeting by Donnie Henry, great guy, super intellectual guy. I love him to death. He's an amazing individual, and he's got some great ideas. And so he invited me to the Libertarian Party, and I went. And, you know, show my face, say hi, and talk about some things and ask them questions. And it ended up being a very important night because they were talking about the hometown I used to live in, which is Peoria, about the violence. And that's a serious topic, guys, especially in Peoria. I'm sure Chicago's even worse. A bunch of questions got asked, and there was answers and communication, and I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I loved how open and warm and welcome they were. And believe it or not, their views are not that far from ours if we really study the Constitution and what it really stands for. So while I'm waiting on some more questions, Gavin, if you have any more questions, you said you had a few questions. I hope I addressed that one. If I didn't, come back at me with another question. I am human, so I may make a mistake here and there. I try not to, but I try to answer fairly and honestly. So in the meantime, I'm going to talk about a few things going on. Let me pull out my calendar because I don't have it on me. So there are a few events going on, guys, and I want to talk about. So April 2nd, that's the closest event, I believe. April 2nd is the 2021 gala. Let's see if I can get that link pulled up here and below me in a minute. But I want to talk about this gala for the men and women in uniform. And what it is it's a black tie affair. There are tickets on sale. And it is for all of the men and women in uniform, whether it be police, fire, EMS, first responders, correctional officers, you name it, you got a uniform. Military, definitely. There are a lot of great people coming and speaking. And let's see, it's on April 2nd from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Thelma Keller Convention Center. And we're looking forward to it. It's a black tie social. So I have a bunch of my friends coming. Some political figures will be there. I want to, let me see if I can get to this real quick. I should have had this pulled up, but I wasn't thinking about it. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so we have some awesome speakers. Teresa Rayborn, she's a friend of mine. An amazing, outspoken woman. I love her to death. The Herbal Oracle, a friend of mine, Desiree Haley, she owns her own business, and she's going to be donating something for the auction. It's some amazing products. They're all natural. So that's pretty cool. Walter and Liz Michaels. Those are a couple of the sponsors. Teresa Rayborn, the 2020 Republican congressional nominee, she's a sponsor. The speakers will be Teresa Rayborn, Ben Beerley, and there's going to be a Back the Blue guy. I don't know if he's speaking or he's getting a captain from the police department to speak. So that's awesome. We have a lot to look forward to. We definitely have some amazing surprises coming our way for the gala. So that's important. And let's see, what else do I need to talk about? We're waiting for more questions. So the other event that I have going on, and I can't work my phone right now, is, so on May 15th, I know it's a little ways out there, guys, but so May 15th, there's going to be a Constitution Stand Salinas rally, which is my rally in Springfield. So that's going to be awesome. Someone who has become a really good friend of mine, is going to be singing the national anthem there, as well as the gala. Ashley Bean, I had her on my show, I believe, last week, and she's really amazing. She is an extremely talented artist. Her voice is phenomenal. She can go from high to low like there's no tomorrow. So it's really good to have her. And so for the event, for the Salinas rally on May 15th at 12 p.m., it's at the Capitol in Springfield. And so far there's Teresa Rayborn is going to come out and speak, Ben Beerley. And then April 24th, there's going to be a social in Bloomington. I will get you those links. And I will get you, if you want to message me here or on my Facebook, I will be glad to get you that information. So that's kind of it on my rallies and coming up. I have officially started I've been starting, guys. I've been here for a while. But I officially started my campaign run as far as being filed. Again, I'm the only nominee that is filed for U.S. Senate 2022 currently right now. I know there will be more. I know it's still early. I know who some of my opponents are. So I'm looking forward to a great race. And I stand for you guys. I stand with your voice and your power and your heart. And I really want to make a difference in the state. And with you guys, beside me and helping me with your questions and concerns, and me taking the time to listen. I always try to make time for everybody. If I can't get to you, or if you've been messaging me, please message me again, and I'll try to make sure. I usually stay on top of that. My husband tells me my phone's glued to my hip, so I usually have it on me. But I guess we're going to wrap this up. If there's any more questions that aren't popping up, I know there were some on my Facebook. I tried to answer them. And if I didn't, again, message me. And if you need a more concrete answer or a deeper answer, then, more specific, feel free to ask. I'm always here. I'm always here to listen. So I guess we're going to wrap this up for tonight. I know it's cold outside, man. That wind's howling like it's Halloween or something. It's crazy. My office is currently freezing right now. So I guess I'm going to wrap this up tonight. We will see you tomorrow night, Citizen Watch, at 7:30 p.m. And we have the guest that I was talking about, Mark Flagel. I'm excited about that, guys. So join me tomorrow night at 7:30 here. It does go live over my regular Facebook page, my Senate page, both of my Citizen Watches, both on Telegram and Facebook, and DLive. So we have quite a few channels that it goes out to. So I'm excited. We're trying to build momentum. I suggest that you share my Senate page in any events that I'm having, and show up to the events that I'm having so that you can meet me and ask me questions in person. So have a great night. I love you guys, and stay safe, stay warm, and God bless.